is one of the most important indicators of economic health. Bybit, the world's second largest crypto exchange by volume, announced on Friday that it suffered a security breach resulting in the theft of over 1.4 billion in Ether, Euro USD, to try to reach this point of the price. Welcome to today's market analysis. I am Isaac Martinez, a professional trader and analyst at xChief, bringing you expert insights into the latest financial market movements. In this session, we will analyze key macroeconomic developments and technical trends in major assets, including the US dollar index, SP 500, Euro USD, and Bitcoin. Given the recent volatility driven by inflation concerns, Federal Reserve policies, and geopolitical tensions, we will break down the technical outlook and potential trading opportunities. Stay with me as we dive into the charts and examine the key levels shaping the market. We will start with the economic calendar. Don't forget that we are seeing all the hours based on GMT-5, the New York trading session. On Tuesday, February 25th at 9 a.m. we have the CV Consumer Confidence Report. This index measures how optimistic or pessimistic consumers feel about the economy. A higher number means consumers are confident and likely to spend more, which can boost economic growth. A lower number suggests caution, which can slow down economic activity. On Thursday, February 27th at 7:30 a.m., the preliminary GDP quarter-over-quarter report will be released. This report shows how much the economy has grown or shrunk over the past 3 months. It's one of the most important indicators of economic health. Higher GDP signals a strong economic performance, while a lower GDP can indicate a slowdown. At the same time, the unemployment claims report will be published. This weekly report shows how many people applied for unemployment benefits for the first time. A rising number suggests a weakening job market, while a decline indicates a strong labor market. On Friday, February 28th, the German preliminary CPI month-over-month will be released. This report measures inflation in Germany by tracking changes in consumer price. Inflation impacts the European Central Bank's policies, so traders keep a close eye on this data. Later that day at 7:30 a.m., the core PCE price index month-over-month report will be released. This is the Federal Reserve's preferred measure of inflation. It tracks changes in consumer prices, excluding food and energy, to get a clearer picture of inflation trends. Higher inflation can push the Fed to raise interest rates, while lower inflation can lead to rate cuts. This week is packed with important data, with a focus on economic growth, inflation, and consumer sentiment. Expect market volatility as traders react to these key releases. And now we will talk about the most important fundamentals of the week. Bybit, the world's second largest crypto exchange by volume, announced on Friday that it suffered a security breach resulting in the theft of over 1.4 billion in Ether. According to Bybit, the attack targeted one of their ETH cold wallets through a sophisticated manipulation of the signing interface, making it appear legitimate while altering the smart contract logic. This allowed the hacker to take control of the affected wallet and transfer its holdings to an unknown address. Bybit's security team is actively investigating the breach and has called for blockchain analytics and fund recovery experts to assist. The exchange assured users that all other cold wallets remain secure, clients' funds are safe, and operations continue as normal. Bybit co-founder Ben Zhou provided further details explaining that the manipulated transaction appeared legitimate to signers, displaying the correct address while actually modifying the smart contract's logic. This led to the unauthorized transfer of all ETH from the compromised cold wallet. Despite the incident, Zhou emphasized that withdrawals are functioning normally and that Bybit remains financially stable even if the stolen funds are not recovered. In other news, the US dollar strengthened on Friday against major currencies, including the euro, pound, and commodity-linked currencies, as investors positioned ahead of the weekend and awaited next week's inflation data. However, weak US business activity data, lower consumer sentiment, and disappointing existing home sales led to some dollar losses, reinforcing reinforcing expectations that the Federal Reserve may cut rates later this year. The euro fell 0.4% to $1.0461 after weak business activity data from France and Germany, while the Japanese yen gained as bond yields hit a 19-month high, failing speculations of BOJ rate hikes. In the US, the SP Global Composite PMI dropped to 50.4%, its lowest since September 2023, and inflation expectations rose amid Trump's new tariff policies. The dollar index is down 1.7% for the month, but gained 0.2% on Friday, trading at 106.59 points. Trump announced new tariffs on lumber imports, but hinted a potential trade deal with China. Analysts warned that further trade restrictions could increase currency market volatility. Meanwhile, the British pound fell 0.3% to $1.2631, pressured by dollar strength despite better than expected UK retail sales. Now we will continue with the technical analysis, and as always we will start with the US dollar index. First of all, we need to understand that we are continuing this downward trend. If we try to follow the path of this trend, we can see that we are establishing lower highs and also lower lows. That means that the US dollar index will be falling against other currencies. So the dollar is losing its strength, and other important currencies such as the euro, for example, will be having a recovery. If we continue with this downward trend, it is highly possible for the US dollar index first to try to recover. One of the most important points of the US dollar index would be trying to reach 106.858 just for the US dollar index to be efficient. Once it finds its efficiency above this point, we can start speculating a new downward movement, so maybe we can try to get a sell at this point of a short. For now, try to remember that the US dollar index is following a downward trend, and any trade that you are doing with this asset should be following that path. The most important targets for this week, I will consider bearish targets. The first one located at 106.334 and the last one located at 105.714. Now we will continue with the SP 500, and we had a nice week with this asset because we reached a new all-time high. It was located at $6,147, but after this big upward movement, we saw a nice pullback for the SP 500. The objectives from now on should be trying to focus on these points of the price: 6,003, next one located at 5,923. It is possible, yes, for the price to fall for any of these targets, but remember that after the price reach one of these targets, it is highly possible to have a reaction, and this can happen to any of the targets I am showing to you. So which kind of movement we are trying to catch for this next week? Obviously will be to have a pullback to try to make a new buy movement, a new upward movement. That will be the objective with the SP 500. Now let's go with the Euro USD. We didn't have a nice week because we didn't have enough information with the Euro USD. However, now we are seeing that there is some weakness with the Euro USD, and that's because at the point of 1.05057 we have saw a new structure failure. That means that after this, the price will try to search for the genesis of this movement, for the start of this movement. It is located here at 1.04009. That means that there is a high possibility for the Euro USD to try to reach this point of the price. Another good point for the Euro USD would be trying to reach 1.03332 or finally 1.03021. Any of these points of the Euro USD could be to try to buy the Euro USD. However, don't forget that we need to be closely watching the US dollar index, because any kind of movement that we have, because any kind of movement that the US dollar index makes will affect any other currency pair in Forex. So in conclusion, we will be bearish this week. with the Euro USD. We have been discussing this topic that before seeing a new movement with Bitcoin, we should break any of these points of the price. The first one was located in $102,000 and the other one was located at $94,000. If the price breaks this point, maybe we can see a new movement, but if we don't see that, it is highly possible it will be difficult to try to catch a good trade with Bitcoin. So for now, as an opinion, it's not the time to trade Bitcoin, at least if you are trading in 1 hour time frames or maybe 4 hours time frame. However, if you are asking me for a movement for the next week, after the fundamentals we saw, after this big fall that we saw with Bitcoin, because remember that this was the reaction from the fundamental, after this we can see a new upward movement with this asset. That wraps up today's analysis. We covered crucial market fundamentals and technical trends, providing a comprehensive outlook on the dollar index, SP 500, Euro USD, and Bitcoin. As always, risk management is key, so trade wisely and stay informed. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. And if you are looking for a reliable trading platform, register now at xChief.com to access top-tier trading tools and market insights. See you in the next session.